Good afternoon, guys. It is March 28th, 2023. In this video, I want to talk to you about a few things with air quality. Now, I want to mention something, and this is going to be the main theme of this video. A common thing that I think people misunderstand is that your furnace filter has everything to do with your air quality. And to an extent, that is true. However, it is not the only thing that is important. Now, I have a furnace filter that fits my furnace in a HVAC system right here. Now, one thing I want to mention is a lot of people make the mistake of buying very expensive, thick, high-quality filters. And it sounds good in theory because it sounds like, oh, it's going to filter out more. But here's the only problem with that. I want to make this very clear. Your furnace in a air conditioning system is not an air purifier. It is not an air purifier. Because there's so many filters on the market that have like a very high, what is called MERV rating. You do not want the very high MERV rating. And I'm not talking about like go out and buy the cheapest piece of crap filter that there is, but do not go out and buy super expensive filters that have high MERV ratings like MERV 10, MERV 11, MERV 12, MERV 13, and the reason why is, as I've mentioned before, your furnace is not an air purifier. It is meant to heat and cool your home. When you have a very thick filter, like, let me show you an example. Now, this is to my air purifier right here, which this is appropriate for that application. When you have a thick filter that looks like this, that has like very, very, very tight pleats, it restricts airflow. Now, your furnace is designed to move air through and heat it or cool it. It is not designed to remove dust and purify your air. It's just not. That's not its job. And the high, thick filters restrict airflow, making it work harder, using a lot more energy. And not only that, but it's restricting airflow, which might cause your AC system to ice up. It could cause more wear and tear on your system. So try and find like a filter that breathes a little bit better. Again, this is not the cheapest. I think this one right here is like a MERV 5. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. So I'm not saying you like have to go all the way down to like the cheapest, brown cardboard paper thin piece of crap filter. I mean, I think there's a balance. I mean, there's nothing wrong with those cheap filters. But you can go up to like, I would say about MERV 8 is about the highest I would go. But the lower the MERV rating you have, the easier the more it's going to allow your HVAC system to breathe better. And you're just going to change these filters just as often. The very high and thick filters, I think, are just a waste of money. I mean, they're outrageously expensive. They don't really help with much, honestly. And you're just kind of wasting your money at that point because it just chokes down your system, puts more wear and tear on your system, which in turn just opens up more opportunities for service calls, which is going to cost you more in the long run. So, yeah, I would get the thinner filters. Again, not saying you have to go like absolute bottom of the line, but I would stick to the low mid range area with filters for your furnace and HVAC system. And yeah, so I buy these filtrate filters on Amazon. They're MERV 5. I don't think this particular filter comes in all different sizes. There's so many different filter sizes. My size just happens to be 12 by 20 by 1, and so, which it's a fairly common size, at least where I live. But it just depends on your system. There are so many different sizes, so make sure you get the right size for your system. Look at what filter size it takes, and always write the date of when you install the filters so you remember to change them. That is important. They say every 1 to 3 months. I mean, I just watch it, and when it's like brown and you can't really see light through it, then that's when I change them. I don't worry about a certain amount of time. Now, you don't want to wait until it's like super plugged up and thick to where like there's literally layers and layers and layers and layers of dust, and dust is falling off of that, and that's like way too long. But once it's like brown and you can't see light through it, that's when you change it. And those last depending upon what type of environment you live in, what area you live in, how often you run your system, whether you live in the country, whether you live in the suburbs, whether you live, where there's a lot of pollen, a lot of dust, a lot of smog, whatever the case may be. I mean, so it just depends on where you are. But furnace filters are not the only line of defense here. And I'm going to tell you a few things that honestly will help. First of all, I'm just going to say it, but vacuum your house often. I think that's a commonly overlooked thing that people don't really think much of. I mean, everybody thinks about air quality and, oh, you gotta have all this filtration. But there's a lot of people who don't think anything of vacuuming. They think it's just, oh, when the floor looks dirty and stuff, which is true. But, I mean, you should be vacuuming your house at least once a week, if at all possible. It doesn't matter if you have carpet, hardwood floors, tile area rugs, it doesn't matter what it is. Vacuum your floors. Make sure that you get a vacuum that at least is decent with filtration. I do recommend bagged vacuum cleaners. And vacuum cleaners that take a good quality bag. Because the bag is like the furnace filter. You're just going to change that every few months once it's full. I'm going to pull one out of my Oric here and show you. Now, this is one of your first lines of defense in terms of air quality. If you don't think that vacuuming does anything for air quality, you are totally mistaken. It does way more than you even realize, and it's important. Now, I want you to look at this. You see how thick this bag is? This is filtration. This is your first line of defense. This removes so much. If you just keep dust and stuff out of your carpet as much as possible, out of your carpet, out of your floors, out of your upholstery and stuff, you will be amazed at how much your air quality improves. And it doesn't have to be super thorough, deep cleanings. It can just be, you just, vacuum over it, regularly. Just kind of keep it up. That's a very common line of defense, and oops, I just spit a little bit of dust out of this bag. It's been in here since September, but it's not full yet, so I'm not changing it. But yeah, it's not even close to full. It's got so much room in it still, but yeah, so you want to get a vacuum cleaner that's at least decent with filtration, and preferably bagged, because bagged is just going to be better for that. And if you value a clean home, and you're really concerned about air quality, then it's bagged all the way. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, can't really get much better than that. I know there are water filtering vacuums and stuff. I haven't tried those. And I have no doubt that those are wonderful. But, water vacuums are just not something that I've looked into. And it's way beyond what I'm comfortable dealing with, so, but water filtering vacuums are a good option for that as well. Now, back to air filtering. Vacuuming is your first line of defense, number one. Regular vacuuming, containing the dust, because it plays a major role in your air quality, keeping allergens down, keeping dust down, keeping things manageable. Um, you know, I don't mean to sound harsh or ruffle some feathers here, and I'm not upset with people because I understand that there are situations and it may not always be the biggest priority. But I have seen people who literally go months and months and months without vacuuming once. And then they complain about, why their allergies are so bad, why, their house is so dusty. Well, you have to stay on top of vacuuming. I don't care if you have all hard floors, vacuuming is still important. You get just a straight suction canister vacuum that filters decent to contain it. It's just, vacuuming is so important. It's like one of the most important jobs that we do. And it's so overlooked and underrated, but it's absolutely vital for cleaner air quality. Now, vacuuming is your first line of defense. Then it's your furnace filter. Oh, and the other thing is, when you vacuum frequently, your furnace filter is going to last you a lot longer. I know from experience because I've heard from maintenance people, and we've been in rental places. We rent here. Sometimes our landlord gives us, furnace filters because they encourage that. They're like, your filters are cleaner than some houses that we've seen. And they're like, we don't know what that's about, but your filters are just cleaner. Well, it depends on how many people you have, what you do in your house, whether you have pets or not. But it also has to do with the frequency of your vacuuming. I'm telling you, you will be amazed at what just vacuuming alone does. It contains so much. The furnace filter just gets the rust and the leftover. And it's really there just to protect your furnace and HVAC system from being damaged, from dust and stuff. But, it starts with vacuuming. The furnace filter gets the leftover. Now, if you really want higher quality filtration, then you can step up to an air purifier. And like I said, your furnace and HVAC system is not an air purifier. It is designed to heat and cool your home. Yes, we have a filter in there, but it's not to purify the air. It may help with the air quality, but it's not designed to purify the air. If you go sticking like huge, thick filters in there, it's going to choke down a lot of airflow, make it not run as efficiently, not heat or cool as efficiently, and possibly shorten the lifespan of your system, which is not good because HVAC equipment, to get that stuff replaced, when it goes out, and I'm talking when it like really goes out, not like it needs a repair, When it has to be replaced, you're talking $5, $10, $15,000 for a whole new system. That is not cheap. And considering the high quality filters, you're spending like $20 for one filter compared to like, $5, $10 for one filter, of the ones that breathe a little better. It is so not worth it. You're just throwing money away. It's just not worth it. So, if you need higher quality filtration, this is where the air purifier comes in. An air purifier is designed for air quality. It is designed to filter the air. Now, you will have on most a felt filter that catches the big stuff, and then a pleated HEPA filter with a gasket. And that is the definition of filtration. So, if you really think you need the extra filtration, you have a good filtering vacuum cleaner, you have, you are vacuuming frequently, you're doing everything that you can, and you still feel the need for better filtration, and that's where an air purifier steps in. Now, an air purifier is going to cost about the same amount as a lot of vacuum cleaners. Now, it is an investment. You're going to spend probably at least $100 for a decent one. However, what this does, it contains any of the small fine stuff, because everything has a job in your house. Your furnace is not designed for the air quality. Yes, it could help with the filters. It's not like they don't do anything, but it's not designed to purify the air in your entire house. It's just not. You need to get a system that's designed for that. Now, this is a smaller one. This is only for my small bedroom, because my allergies are pretty bad, especially at night. I can get congested and messed up pretty good. Now, I paid about $80 for this thing back in 2019, and I've now had it 4 years. It's been fantastic. Now, when it comes to these, you have check filter indicators. Once these lights come on, then you know when to change the filters. And the filters last quite a while. And you can run these 24/7 and, just forget them. Really. Some people think that's not good for the motors. These are designed to run. You can just turn them on or never turn them off again if you want. Seriously. Now, I don't necessarily use this in the wintertime because my allergies aren't quite as bad in the wintertime. And this running just makes the room feel cold. So I just put it away in the winter. but I run this from about March through like September, October, you know, and it depends on, what you want. I'm gonna plug mine in here. But it they serve a function. Now usually I just leave it on the lowest setting. And I will tell you that this makes a huge difference. So, but this isn't necessarily a replacement for having to change furnace filters, for having to vacuum. This is just a supplement. This helps. You get the finer stuff that you can't get. Because you still need to vacuum. You still need to, if you're using this and you're not vacuuming, you're not cleaning, you're not doing other things to help, then this isn't really going to help. And it's just going to clog up, get choked up, and it's not going to work too well. So, yeah. But you can turn it on a higher speed if you need. And there are larger units, more advanced units. But yeah. So, this is just one video on, air quality, and just reminding people that your furnace and HVAC system is not an air purifier. Save your money and take steps to improve your indoor air quality. Your HVAC system was never designed to do all of that. You have to do other things too. You have to vacuum. You have to remove stuff yourself as well. So, anyway, that about does it for this video. I hope you learned something. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.